Caitlin Clark. She is the greatest scorer college basketball has ever seen. A deep one, you bet. Caitlin Clark. Clark dribbles past half court. The clock ticks down, but she barely hesitates. A defender lunges, stretching every muscle to stop her. Too late. Clark pulls up from way beyond the three-point line. The ball sails, spinning through the air. The net barely moves, but the stadium erupts. 55,000 voices explode in unison. Earlier that day, she had laughed in the locker room, joking with teammates, unaware that this moment would soon go viral. Weeks before, her long-range bombs were already turning heads, making even seasoned pros rethink their defense. Every miss, every practice shot had built her for this instant. Now, the crowd isn't just watching a game, they are witnessing a statement. A young player isn't just scoring points, she's shifting the rules. I was just that young girl who wanted to go to basketball games. Stay with us, because we're about to reveal how this one shot changed everything. Background story: Caitlin Clark's story didn't happen overnight. Long before 55,000 fans screamed her name in a stadium, she was a kid in West Des Moines, Iowa, running up and down local courts with a basketball that often seemed too big for her hands. While other kids were content practicing layups or simple jumpers, Caitlin was drawn to distance. She loved the challenge of the long shot, the feeling of launching the ball from far beyond the arc and watching it spin toward the basket, as if she were painting her own path to greatness. Each shot was a puzzle, a test of focus and courage. And even at a young age, she approached the game with a discipline that set her apart from everyone else on the court. By the time she reached Iowa, Caitlin's talent was already impossible to ignore. Welcome back. Caitlin Clark is one of the best, if not the best, players in girls' high school basketball, at least here in the state of Iowa. She didn't just score points, she changed the way games were played around her. Opposing defenses had to account for her signature range, stretching backward in ways coaches had never planned for. What used to be a safe area near the top of the arc suddenly became dangerous territory. A single pass to Caitlin could instantly turn into a scoring opportunity from a distance most players wouldn't dare attempt. Her rhythm, her lift, the subtle snap of her wrist, and her quiet confidence from deep became the defining features of her game. Fans and teammates alike noticed that every catch could quickly become a highlight. Her shots weren't just points, they were statements. Caitlin's style was bold, never timid. She had the kind of poise that made defenders hesitate for just a fraction of a second, long enough for her to pull up and let it fly. And those defenders weren't small or inexperienced. She routinely faced the best players in college women's basketball, yet her range turned every possession into a tactical nightmare. Coaches on both sides whispered about her ability. All right, so first of all, your thoughts, Steph, on Clark landing. Here is your clean, fluent rewrite in English with the same wording, meaning, and storytelling flow, corrected for grammar, clarity, and strong narration. Perfect for YouTube documentary voiceover style. And I think that Caitlin Clark, along with the many athletes coming into the WNBA, is showing that anyone within that far-reaching arc must be respected. Caitlin delivered consistently, season after season. Her confidence wasn't arrogance, it was the result of thousands of hours of practice, countless repetitions in empty gyms, and a sharp mind that never stopped studying the game. But it wasn't just about her long-range shooting. Caitlin's passing, court vision, and ability to control the flow of the game made her truly unique. Defenders didn't just watch her release the ball. They watched her read the entire floor, anticipating movements, finding openings, and creating chances for her teammates in ways that seemed almost instinctive. She had the rare ability to control the pace of the game, forcing opponents into decisions they weren't prepared to make. It was as if she carried a mental map of the court, seeing lanes and patterns invisible to others, then executing them with near-perfect precision. By the time fans gathered at Kinnick Stadium to witness her latest feat, Caitlin Clark was already more than just a player. She was a national phenomenon. A sold-out crowd in Evanston tonight for the Northwestern women's basketball game, all focused on one player on the visiting team. Iowa's Caitlin Clark had become a national phenom. The record books reflected her achievements, but statistics alone couldn't capture her true impact. Her reputation preceded her. From the quiet respect of coaches to the growing excitement of young fans who followed every highlight, Caitlin had already begun reshaping expectations for women's basketball. She made long-range shooting not just a skill, but a defining feature of her identity. Each step she took onto the court carried the weight of years of dedication. And by tip-off, the crowd wasn't just there to watch, they were there to witness history unfold in real time. The mental battle behind the greatness. Here comes Clark. How will she go for history? The very spot where she broke the record. But behind every iconic shot and every record-breaking moment, there was a quieter battle, one no crowd could see. For Caitlin Clark, that battle often took place inside her own mind. On the surface, she appeared calm, confident, and unstoppable. But behind that focused gaze was constant pressure, expectation, and self-doubt. Every season, every game carried weight. Fans expected history. Coaches demanded excellence. And Caitlin expected perfection from herself. Even as a freshman at Iowa, the attention was overwhelming. She wasn't just another player, she was a prodigy. A scoring machine capable of stretching defenses in ways no one else could. Cameras followed her. Articles dissected her every move. Social media buzzed non-stop. Every miss was magnified. Every success analyzed. That level of scrutiny can crush most players, but Caitlin learned to channel it. She understood early that mental toughness was just as important as shooting mechanics. Facing LSU in the 2024 NCAA Tournament Elite Eight added another layer of intensity. The most important thing for Iowa in this game is securing defensive rebounds. LSU is an outstanding offensive rebounding team. This wasn't just another high-stakes matchup. It was redemption. The year before, LSU had denied her a national title. That memory lingered, a constant reminder of unfinished business. Walking onto the court, she carried that weight, knowing even the smallest lapse in focus could cost her team a Final Four appearance. The pressure didn't stop on game day. Hours before tip-off, she practiced visualization, imagining every defensive scheme, replaying tough moments, and studying where she had faltered and how she could improve. Her preparation was meticulous. She didn't rely solely on muscle memory, she combined it with a detailed mental blueprint of the game, predicting movements, calculating angles, and anticipating reactions before the opening tip. Even in practice, the struggle was intense. She pushed herself to shoot while exhausted, under pressure, and against strict deadlines. Some days, the misses piled up and frustration crept in, but Caitlin transformed that frustration into fuel. She learned to silence doubt and focus only on what she could control: her release, her stance, and her rhythm. Every shot became a lesson. Every lesson prepared her for the roar of validation. Proof. Legacy. The tension wasn't only external, it was internal. A constant reminder that greatness demands sacrifice. And yet, that struggle became her strength. Caitlin learned to embrace pressure, transform anxiety into focus, and turn mental hurdles into stepping stones toward excellence. When she finally released that deep-range shot, every hour of training, every late night, and every internal battle converged into one unforgettable moment. The crowd saw the swish, the eruption, the celebration. But behind that shot was a player who had fought invisible battles, and won. That mental struggle wasn't just a challenge. It was her secret weapon. The reason she could rise when the stakes were highest, transform pressure into legendary performance, and build a legacy, one fearless shot at a time. Crowd reaction. 55,646 fans erupt. Here is your full clean rewrite in English with the same meaning, emotion, and storytelling flow, corrected for grammar, clarity, pacing, and powerful narration. Perfect for YouTube documentaries, long-form videos, or voiceover scripts. Fans filed into Kinnick Stadium at the University of Iowa. 75,000 people were in attendance by the end of the first quarter. This wasn't just another game on the schedule. Most of them had never seen a women's basketball game played in a venue this massive. The stadium, usually echoing with football chants, had been transformed into a giant hardwood court. The anticipation in the air was almost tangible, like static before a storm. Fans shuffled into their seats, some stretching their necks for a better view, others already holding their phones, ready to capture history. Then Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court. From her very first dribble, the energy shifted. Every time she touched the ball, heads turned, eyes followed, and whispers rippled through the crowd. Defenders tried to press her, challenge her, and intimidate her. But Caitlin carried a presence that made the impossible feel routine. When she launched her first deep shot from beyond the logo, a hush fell over the stadium. The ball spun through the air, suspended in time. Then, swish. In an instant, the stadium erupted. The roar wasn't just loud, it was overwhelming. Fans leapt to their feet, arms raised, voices breaking, cheering, screaming, chanting her name. Phones shot into the air, recording every moment. Every flick of her wrist, every confident stride back on defense, was captured and shared online in real time. The energy was contagious. Strangers hugged strangers. High fives flew across rows. What began as a fun afternoon quickly transformed into something unforgettable. Commentators were caught mid-sentence, stunned by the crowd's reaction. Coaches paused, knowing no instruction could compete with this spectacle. This wasn't just excitement. It was awe. Families cheered together. Young girls in Iowa jerseys waved handmade signs. Even longtime fans who had attended games for decades stood on their feet. Some people cried, moved by the combination of skill, courage, and audacity. Every deep shot built the crescendo. Each swish was met with a louder roar. Each near miss drew a collective gasp and encouragement. And when Caitlin buried her signature 55-foot shot, the stadium reached a fever pitch. It was more than a basket. It was a cultural moment. The energy surged beyond the stadium walls, spilling into homes, phones, and social media feeds across the nation. Clips of the shot went viral within hours, replayed millions of times. Kids flooded local gyms, attempting to recreate the moment, launching shots from absurd distances, dreaming just a little bigger. The crowd reaction wasn't just about celebrating a player. It was about witnessing a shift in the game itself. Women's basketball, long underappreciated, suddenly commanded national attention. Caitlin Clark didn't just score points. She created a spectacle. She made people lean forward, hold their breath, and feel part of something historic. By the final buzzer, it was clear this wasn't just a game. It was an event. Fans left buzzing, replaying her shots in their minds, talking about the range, the confidence, and the audacity. They hadn't just watched history, they had become part of it. After effects, the moment Caitlin Clark's shot swished through the net didn't end with a cheer. Caitlin Clark makes history, the all-time Division I women's basketball scoring leader. The impact rippled far beyond Kinnick Stadium. Social media exploded instantly. Highlights circulated everywhere, gaining millions of views. Fans replayed the shot, debated it, and marveled at the distance, the arc, and the speed of her release. People weren't just impressed, they were inspired. Kids across the country started pulling up from a deeper range. Parents filmed their children attempting logo shots. Hashtags trended. Gyms buzzed. Caitlin had sparked a movement. For Iowa, the effects were massive. Attendance surged. Merchandise sold out. Television ratings soared. Women's basketball had entered a new spotlight, attracting fans who had never followed the sport before. Even professional scouts and analysts took notice. Her combination of deep shooting, court vision, and leadership made one thing clear. Caitlin Clark wasn't just a college star, she was a generational talent. But perhaps her greatest impact was inspiration. That one shot gave young players permission to dream bigger. It showed them that limits could be challenged. That preparation, confidence, and courage could rewrite expectations. The moment became a blueprint. Work relentlessly, trust your skill, and when the time comes, shoot without fear. That single shot didn't just move the net. It moved hearts, minds, and perceptions. And its effects weren't temporary. They became the foundation of a legacy. Caitlin Clark's legacy is not measured only in points, assists, or highlights. It is measured in how she reshaped the game, inspired a generation, and changed the way women's basketball is viewed. By the time she faced LSU in the 2024 NCAA Tournament Elite Eight, her name was known everywhere. She wasn't just Iowa's star. She was a national phenomenon. That matchup wasn't just about reaching the Final Four. It was about redemption. The year before, LSU had denied Iowa a chance at a national title. That memory lingered. And that night, Caitlin delivered. She scored 41 points, dished out 12 assists, and led Iowa to a 94-87 victory. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement. She wasn't arriving. She had arrived. Her long-range shooting redefined what it meant to be a perimeter threat. Coaches redesigned defenses. Teams adjusted spacing. Young players began stepping farther back, believing they could do the same. Off the court, her influence elevated the entire sport. Attendance soared. Media attention exploded. Sponsors invested. Women's basketball captured energy, passion, and excitement on a scale never seen before. But beyond the numbers and the noise, Caitlin Clark's true legacy lies in the moments. The logo shot in front of 55,646 screaming fans. The 41-point masterpiece against LSU. The lonely nights in empty gyms. The fearless belief that anything was possible. She showed that basketball isn't just a game of statistics, it's a platform for courage, creativity, and inspiration. Her journey, from empty courts to packed stadiums, proves that passion and persistence can rewrite history, one fearless shot at a time. And as the game continues to evolve, one thing is certain. The shot that made tens of thousands scream will never be forgotten.